Well, it's time to find out, ladies and gentlemen, exactly how this one is going to transpire. I used to drop the bass stroke already, by the way. Yeah, sorry. You didn't hear that one, Lauren. She asked me to say it, but too late. Anyway, let's jump into this one here. It's going to be the Gold Bass defending, pushing forward here as well. Is
really very aggressive setups by both teams. Look at the amount of T50s and budgets.
Hellraisers, they did this to EL last year. They will meet you in the middle if it comes to a bit of a fight scenario here, but it actually looks like they're angling off and taking control a little bit more of that 2 and 3 line, whilst Gold Bass moving towards the hill. This could set up for some flank situations, but they managed to spot near you and get some damage across.
Yeah, but look at the RU coming from the south. Like, he will do some proxy spotting for his mediums so they can snipe them, and Hellraisers are just taking angles so they can do free damage and avoid any kind of YOLO on themselves.
Is he very
already first tank down.
Super comfortable as well. You can see that near you just coming forward, picking up Simon. That's Montiablo there in that 251. We said he can do some spotting from the south side and actually light some of these tanks from Gold Bass up. So they've already lost one, and they haven't really managed to put too much damage back. I guess you could say Nuclear's a little bit low. He's taken a bit of a rougher trade here, but this is where the game gets quite complicated, because it's not even about aim, it's not even about trying to brawl, it's about knowing when to peak and trying to set up now on the fly a crossfire situation.
We just back off now. Like, if Gold Bass saw on time maybe that they have object 140 away from the fight, they could have connected on them and forced like a push on that side, but Hellraisers took so many clippers that even if they did it, they would just like hide behind the corner and shoot up first or second eye who comes out, and that would be it. So this is like pretty standard played game for them, just to be safe. This is not a game they will even play against some other teams. They just want to be safe, not to lose tanks before the time comes.
Now near you here on your screen is just sitting back actually up towards the cap point number 1. So he's in a point where he can actually start to threaten as well. There was a TVP up on the hill, and he is in position to actually get some shots as well from this little vantage point. So this is Hellraisers now starting to close the gap a little bit. Great shot. Hypo just got deleted, and that's all near you has to do now. Gold Bass know that, well, okay, boys, we're sat up here on the hill. It's kind of a nice view here. Unfortunately, as good as the view is, we can't see enough of Hellraisers to do damage.
From the other side, he's gonna like just spot him from above, and they're gonna tricky shoot him from all sides. Look at this, they already have 3 angles to shoot.
Yeah.
This rotation is maybe something that can take out Monty, but will it be enough? I really don't know.
Poltholic, Beaver now just trying to get around the back. They want to shut down Montiablo. They know how much spotting he can do from the hill, but this is a Gold Bass in motion right now. They are on the move. Just trying to get around a little bit towards the other side.
Using every little nudge here to survive, and he's even doing damage.
They can't get him. I mean, Bieber now is able to do some damage, but look at what Monty's been able to set up here. Bieber gonna drop down. One more shot. He is done. Hellraisers just seem to have an intrinsic understanding of how to play this out. Now Monty can spot from the top.
This hurts really. This really hurts.
Oh God.
And he can't even lift the gun up now.
Yeah, he doesn't have the gun elevation to hit Monty on the hill.
No way. And Monty will just follow him and shoot him in a temple of his head all the time.
That is really annoying. Oh, I'd be mad as heck. Now Monty can just push down.
There's no way up from here. Now he has to go down with the roof.
Yeah, he's a bit caught there. There's no way. Obviously, even with the new physics engine.
Will he survive this? Yeah, he went down.
Well, now as well. I was going to get caught. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring
Monty,
to you
the first star of the new patch.
The new physics in World of Tanks. Montiablo, you, my friend, just got wrecked. Luckily enough. Hey, boys, yeah. The blood's rushing to my tank's head, and I think I'm going to blow up. He's salty as heck. I don't think it matters at this stage. It's just Pick Thief left now as well. This one's pretty much going to be over. But I talked about getting sideways. Now we're getting upside down. So we're just now pushing the physics all the way.
At least they got 1 kill. Oh, they even killed Griffin. Nice.
What is going on? Is the environment's doing all the damage here? Was that Pig Thief at the bottom of the drink?
I know, it's Toxic Cliff.
Yes. No, he's jumped in. Everyone's jumping in. Okay.
Everyone's taking bath.
What are we watching now?
I really do not know.
That's the game. It's first round. They're going to be going to Hellraisers there. I've seen more standard ways to win a game, but still, they get it done, not taking it too seriously there as well, and just seem like very, very comfortable on Cliff. You talked about it a little bit earlier, Mojo. They had a good setup as well. They were able to peak. They understood the terrain and the topography to such a degree that
which Russian teams take to shoot enemy teams like budgets and TVPs in the back. We saw some matches turn with 1K shots like that, but they were not designed to play like this. But at least we saw some really nice cliff diving and high marks for quality of that.
Well, now we're going to be on to the next round here as well, and for Gold Bass, again, they just have to try and take something away from that here, Mojo, as well. I think, right, well, they pretty much handily beat us. Even Monty giving us a little bit of a highlight there as Pig Thief just went off the cliff. So they knew it was done. Surprising they didn't maybe use the extra time to deliberate.
You're not gonna get me alive. But Monty died first.
What has this come to when this is our highlight clip? Oh, God.
This
Oh,
is
yeah,
like
we got that as well.
This
No
is like
worries.
Wusa game. Wusa did some of this.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, we've had some classic ones in the
Good old
EU
times.
region. Oh, dear. Well, if that's any way to set the stage for this game, I can take it to 3 things away. First of all, the Gold Bass, I guess they had to get back in the water because the gills are only so good for so long, and Hellraisers don't seem to mind. You see even the look on Monty's face. He's like, well, I flipped my tank, boys, but I don't really care. It doesn't really matter, does it?
Out. You can see the stress is really high, and yeah.
Down the end, they're all just like, did you really have to flip your tank?
This guy is already in hotel and sleeping.
Yeah, it seems like he's very sedate. Perhaps even mind elsewhere at the moment, but you got to be careful with a team like Gold Bass. I've seen some pretty crazy stuff from them. Maybe more tactically than in terms of execution, but again, they probably are in a position now, they don't even want to drop around. We've seen some of these games already. We've seen Wombats over Simp 5-0, Rocks over Eclipse 5-1. A lot of 5-1s as well. Navi over Gold Bass already. Yato over EL 5-1, which is a bit weird in itself. So, seen a lot of 5-1s. I'll tell you
honestly, the only surprise we had is EL Gaming dropping out to Yato. And we knew the match between Tornado and Kazna will be super tight, and it was like that.
Yep.
It was really not known who will win, so it happened like that. But here the standings are high in Hellraisers' favor, and Golbas is not really doing well in trying to debate that.
Well, that's it. I don't think anyone's trying to, be disillusioned about the fact that Golbas are definitely going to be up against it here. Cliff, well, it's time to get the second round started in a few moments here as well. And again, a chance for Golbas not only to get a feel for playing against Hellraisers now in this new lineup, but also just seeing if they can pull something off here. Tank pick-wise as well. Again, another fast lineup.
Two Lorraines now. It's usually used to flank from the one line or something like that.
I just free experience the heck out of that tank.
But, God damn it! Like that tank is just boxy.
Oh, it looks like a 5100, but with a far less good gun is a nice way of putting it.
And it's a really nice target.
Yeah, it's huge. It reminds me of the CDC in some ways as well. So the CDC is probably more useful in some cases. Nonetheless, Podholic up towards the hill is going to spot out a couple of guys.
Full out crawl now, and that's it. We're going to fight, and no matter what.
Might be right there. 2 feet now coming forward as well. Shots on towards Bieber as well. And Hellraisers with 2 tanks are able to dish out a heck of a lot of damage. These Bat Chats are making their mark. And now Golbas have to push forward. Oh, it's EL Gaming all over again. This time it might not work out, though. Hellraisers just a little bit too canny for this style of play. He's going to take down Simon. Nesquik, though, at least falls, but already only 4 left for Golbas.
This is such a beginner's mistake. They just let this high ground where entire Hellraiser team is now, and they're just passing around and taking so many shots in the flanks, and they cannot even end their clips properly because of that. And the guys are just doing near you and in low, they're just doing damage all the time over and over, and the guys in the back that can use a new physics from D4 to climb, they're doing the side shots. So all they did is just like Indians around cowboys, they're driving and trying to shoot, but it doesn't, cowboys shoot the guns.
Exactly right. Goldmass, for all their dancing and their theatrics, is just down to 2 more tanks now as well. It's just Pick Thief and Hummel really just awaiting his dispatchment here as well, as Hellraisers just seem to be able to brawl better. I mean, if Golbas can't bring that in, you said pushing towards the middle or go for something cheesy or going aggressive kind of means that you don't have any other tactics here, and that's not a good sign for Golbas.
You must take some positions. You must fight it. You really have to take control with even 2 or 3 tanks of that top side and push with the others if you want to do it like that. But this is pure suicide. Yeah,
well, essentially. They don't really know what Golbas were trying to accomplish here at all. Now Monty going to come around the corner, and he's just the harbinger of destruction as the rest of the Hellraisers are going to rock up, and they're going to drop Bass on this one. Oh my lord, that was a very easy 2-0 so far.
Well, these games are fast one, just like Clutch likes them.
Exactly. Clutch as well, he's seen a bit of Golbas as well, and he was, again, asked a question on the desk, will we start to see a little bit more from these guys who've been around for so long, but at the end of the day, Hellraisers, they live in a fertile environment for excellence and more of tanks. They have the best teams in the world to cut their teeth against constantly, the best teams to strategize against or with, if that may be the case, and it's a long walk for the goal, or swim, for the Golbas to get here, and unfortunately, they seem completely outmatched.
Hellraisers really need to do this and finish this business and stop messing around, because all the games they had against leading teams were super tight, as we said, but never quite enough. They cannot afford to play around with these guys. I don't think they will even try to show any specific tactics. They will play the standards and just try to force the games in their favor.
I mean, you don't want to be that team that comes into an event like this and just wrecks maybe the wildcard teams or the lower ranked teams, and then just don't get any traction against your top teams, your Tornadoes, your Navis, your Wombats on tanks here as well. So Hellraisers have a heck of a lot to prove even outside of this match. The expectations on them, I guess, especially from you as well, was that they need a clean game here. They just need to demonstrate mastery of the game without giving too much away about their strategic depth.
They have high chance for finals, but they must win this. Must. There is no option.
Okay.
Must.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It is a very, very hot group, of course. Especially, well, I mean, losing here drops them out.
Best.
Absolutely. Well, Hellraisers would like their fish dinner and to be able to eat it too, but I'm going to turn up the oven just a little bit higher, bring some more of that heat. So far, you can definitely see Goldbass sweating a little bit there as well. Just to know what they're trying to go for, Mojo, as well. I mean, what can you really tactically glean from the last couple rounds from this Korean side?
Well, I saw they try to play fast lineups with a lot of clippers and possibility to take out someone from Hellraisers and then maybe push on, but it never worked out because their positioning is all wrong. Most of the times they are neglecting certain angles you have to cover, and they look like they're even not aware of that.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, we talked about setting up a crossfire or setting up for any sort of screen on any cap, and you need to have all your angles covered here. I mean, pushing across the hill is fine if the other team's pushing into you.
You can kill one guy, maybe two, but the others are shooting you all the time, and you're wide open from every side.
Anyway, we're going to be moving now on towards the map of steps. Again, potentially dangerous one here for the Goldbass. Another one we haven't seen yet from Hellraisers yet today. Mojo, what's your take on this one now? Seeing the way that Goldbass like to play this aggressive style, or maybe not checking their corners or dotting their I's and crossing their T's, how much confidence do you really have for them to hold on on an open map like this?
Like, Steps is a map which is mainly played by baiting one of the caps, and then you play on counter rotations as defender. Goldbass didn't show that much of team awareness to play it well. And here we go, they are like, they have 3 heavies and an RT.
So Goldbass either don't know how to bait, or when they bait it, they just take it straight away. I mean, they're a fish, fair enough. Okay, that's kind of what they do. But, I mean, you're hoping now that they can do some work with this artillery piece to open things up here as the attacking side. But Simon is going to be that man in the artillery here as well. Look at most of Goldbass actually grouping up together in this initial spot.
Will this be Hail Mary shot?
Oh, I don't know. I've seen crazier things today from Kusok earlier on. So
yeah, but those guys were barely moving, mate. They looked like shot by dynamite.
That's Near you is actually on the move here, so he's going to be relatively safe there as well. Gets himself in a position where he can just peek up and get some spots now. And Goldbass, yeah, I mean, you're right. Bringing this heavy lineup, Kazna have made it work on this map, bringing a lot of FE215Bs.
Yeah, for me, it's super strange. Like, they're playing with RT and pushing with heavies this 2 cap, but they didn't try to offensively scout is actually Hellraiser climbing someone on that dirty climbs. And if they did, they would have complete control of that area. So I don't know, I'm really surprised. I actually expected they will go for 1 cap and then maybe try to bait and snipe with RT on cooldowners and so on, maybe try to trap someone rotating, but no, they're just going head on here.
Into what? That's the question. Goldbass poised to... Well, I hope they can swim upriver, because they're going to have to do it pretty quickly to get away.
This is ambush, actually. Hellraisers,
I've seen this before, yeah.
Yeah, they took really offensive position. They're using 1 tank as a bait. They left 3090 back in a bush to spot the other cap so they can rotate with the entire team, and they're just waiting. If Goldbass does a normal standard approach and start pushing, they will just go from the cooldown, from the red line, and annihilate them.
It's not looking pretty already in terms of setups here. I know it's a heavier lineup here for Goldbass, but I'm struggling to make sense of what their setup is supposed to be. You can see they're probably trying to play around Simon a little bit here as well. It is a trap, in fact, for those of you at home. Obviously, Hellraiser's in that position, can't really be spotted easily, so you have to get up close to
said, it's a trap.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't going to go for that one, but you did it for me. I was actually hoping for our observer to draw a bit of an Admiral Akbar there as well to help out, but maybe not.
Well, Goldbass has only 1 spotter. It's Big Thief in Bachat, and he's all over the map. His Sixth Sense is not triggering, so he will pretty much definitely tell them, okay, guys, they are not here. We might actually rotate to the other side of the map and do something.
Perhaps towards the north here at this stage. The fact of the matter is that Hellraisers have time to set up for a defensive structure on the north if they need to get resets. It's something that they feel like that they can probably do here, even if they have to sacrifice Monty or someone like that, a lighter tank over and towards that situation. But now the push, oh god,
I swear I've never seen a guy rotate so much alone in a budget on this map. Like, if they had any kind of trap on the north side from Hellraisers and they wouldn't know because they didn't spot most of the tanks, he would be dead by far.
So it's just risky to send that one.
It's super risky. It's like reckless.
All right, well, reckless or not, he's set himself up in cap point number 1 here. And Simon, again, I haven't seen much from this guy so far. He's just placing some blind shots down.
Ooh, close.
Yeah, that doesn't win you grand finals, unfortunately. Goldbass need to be connecting as well. Hellraisers still seem to be fairly dynamic, even if they had set up a trap. They've actually pulled away from that one a little bit here, and Goldbass may be able to make some progress. But you can see near you, set up on the hillside, so he'll be able to spot Red Bull. Right now, his name is Yellow, so he has been revealed. So now they know 2-1-13s are here. We may see the rest of Hellraisers move back towards an ambush point.
I'm actually really surprised they kept near you there. That's really risky positions when teams are pushing here, because if they set up one guy behind and one guy on like a middle bush, they can totally annihilate him with RT and he will not be able to move anywhere, no matter what the other guys do. But they are just bunched up and clogged up here, and they don't look like they have a perfect plan how to approach the cap.
Okay, Simon's going to have to do some serious work here. Red Bull starting to get chunked down now as well. Not realizing that he's still easy to be shot there from the actual valley, and Simon's afraid maybe of hitting his teammate. He's going to let this shot go, but it may not really count for anything. It goes over its target. Hummel's getting completely wrecked down now. Apoel's in the mix, but he's had enough damage for the moment as Bieber, Hypo, Holdholic as well, just trying to draw themselves together. But from every angle, they are being fired at, and they are taking damage at a rate of knots here. It's going to be
They're just trying to go shoot like Indians again, and they're getting shot from all sides. Like for every shot that Hellraisers take, they're giving 3 or 4 even.
Yeah, Goldbass definitely starting to crumble under the pressure here as well. It's Hellraisers just pressing in over the top and from the sides and from the rear. And Simon, all he can really do is just try and get some shots here.
Come on,
some
first
shots in. Decent splash
first.
there as well. Trap worked. Thanks for that one. Yeah, it did. Near you now going to try and surround out Hypo. He's pretty much the last guy standing. It's just Pig Thief and Simon left. The latter of who's already been spotted out. And this is another very disappointing attempt from Goldbass.
Hey, this was pretty sad, and there is a reason why people take an M40 RT. It actually has better angles to shoot than Lorraine. Lorraine, when you shoot over turret, 90% of the cases you just miss.
Is that an elevation issue?
It's just RT that works like that. It's really great when you want to relocate and to get another position because it's uber fast, but if you want to shoot any kind of those kind of shots, it's M40 all the way.
So we see it a lot with teams that are bringing artillery. Sometimes you'll see them play a little bit slower around it. Of course, with Lorraine, you don't have to so much. You can relocate and not worry about leaving that artillery piece behind. So the plan there, let's talk about it. Can we see maybe a rhythm or rhyme or reason to what Goldbass are trying to pull off there as well? It seems strange. I haven't seen that kind of push before, this half push towards that eastern cap that ultimately results in their demise.
This looks to me like they don't know, do they want to like step in the water or stay out? Like they're really not decisive in any area.
Right.
Just one guy was just driving around the map and kind of spotting, and then he saw he's not spotting on another side, and they still went for a side where the entire enemy team was. Why? Why? Like not even an attempt of rotation or fake cap or taking advantage of any position, just going, playing in a worst possible way to fight.
It seemed after Red Bull was caught there as well, he pushed forward towards that rock on the eastern side, and he traded, I think, a shot with Nesquik, bounced one, and then got shots from behind. I think we saw Goldbass just realize, oh, okay, we've now overextended, but
the main problem is when I watched APAC region, like their games can be fast, but YOLO-ish fast without really big thought.
Right.
But when they play, often they play really slow. And especially this team played really slow during the season, and they're not used to any kind of strong brawls that are played by Hellraisers now. Hellraisers, when they start a fight, they try to end it really fast. They focus fire, they take out guys, you can see them falling pop, 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 pop. They're not stretching it like one guy surviving for 5 minutes or something like that.
Some damage for you here as well, and it's not a great story in general for the Korean side. It's Hypo and Simon. Well, Simon actually getting a few hits in there. I think that might actually have been only that one shot that actually gives him any damage. He got a bit of splash on towards another tank.
He hit like 2 guys in the same time.
Yeah, could have hit his teammate as well. You just never know. It would have been another Penta-esque performance. So Hummel, yeah, I mean, he and Red Bull got kind of caught out there a little bit. Polt, again, just got blown up. We did see 3 tanks from Goldbass try and salvage the situation and work together, but by that point, there were enemies literally surrounding them, and Goldbass put themselves in that position. It's almost as if they had that fish instinct.
They're literally going like when you have a tower defense and you're getting shot from all sides, and there are those little animals going.
Yeah, that's right, just filtering through, and they don't stop. The AI is just like sending them through.
We go left, we go right, we take damage, we shoot someone.
Well, speaking of tower defense, Goldbass are knocking on the door of a pretty rough defeat at this stage. They can't bring any back against Hellraisers, who are just looking to be in form. Nothing crazy, just solid play. Again, Simon going to be bringing the Lorraine here. How do Goldbass need to play around that one better this time?
They need to play really aggressive from the south now, since they have RT2, because they can decap cap number 1 easily if they know how. Now, this is really risky what they're doing. They're leaving Butchot on really open position there on north, and I really don't know how will he cope when they start spotting, because they will put people on like C2 to peek out. Everyone will be pre-aimed, and if they see someone running away, it's gonna be raining health and shells.
Well, he already gets himself fairly far forward here as well.
Like they already have Butchot in the middle, so that line of escape is cut off. If 3090 spots that Butchot, he's gonna have really rough time running away.
Pigthief almost sensing danger imminent as he does back himself out of the bush. And will we join his team? Probably take a minimum of damage if that. It probably might even set up there towards A5 and get some hull down. Not really what you want to do as a bat chat, but still Goldbass are going to try and make it work. It's clear to them, at least at this stage, that yes, Hellraisers are headed north. Nesqui avoiding obliteration there with that shot just missing. Of course, the Lorraine 15551 not hitting quite as hard as its American counterpart.
I don't know, will this Butchot just stay in this bush? No, he's not even gonna spot. They're like messing up, like they're gonna do some counterattack somewhere.
I mean, if you want to reset the cap, right, and you don't have a 1390 or a smaller tank, how are you gonna do it?
You must send a tier 10 if you are positioned like this, because they're not positioned to go from the south anywhere.
No control over the rest of the map.
Yeah, they have no crossfires. Like, okay, they're set up so they can shoot from those angles, but who will spot? If you suicide one tier 10, you're just gonna lose it, and tier 8 that's baiting the cap will either take one shot, get rested 2 shots. If they're lucky, they might kill him. But you will lose the tier 10. And what then? You have an RT and just some tanks and no spotters.
Yeah, we normally see that actually. Simon feels like he may have found himself a bit of prey there as well as the FE215B will just sit up in the corner.
Oh, that's a direct shot. But I might add, it's very bad decision to go down like this with RT. You actually want to stay up behind the ridge because you have much better angles and connections are much easier.
Fire over those slight hills and...
Yes, and you cannot be fired back. But like this, it's a bit riskier, and you really want to mind your surroundings, but the shots are better. That's what you want the RTs. These are the short distances, and this is perfect for RT if it's played correct.
Well, again, Simon seems pretty preoccupied with some of these tanks set up in the northern side. At least he's managed to spot them, but, I mean, we saw a little bit of damage. That might be damaging hitters as well towards Lolva, yeah, but not huge damage, of course, not full HE penetrations here.
I don't really understand. Okay, the Butchot should go now through that middle part and try to spot it, but the rest of the guys, who will shoot? No one is positioned to shoot. Like,
what's the point in spotting the capping tanks if there's no follow-up?
Like 113s are just driving, and even if they were not, like they're not sniper tanks, they can't hit anything on that distance. Okay, they gave them a tank. Here you go, boys.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you can sacrifice a tank to try and get spots on the cap if you can damage and actually have some follow-up from the rest of your team.
It's a surprise attack from the south.
Oh, okay, this might actually work out. I mean, come on, let's be nice here. Nuclear maybe caught a little bit, and Pulse is actually getting wrecked 1v3 at the moment. As Nuclear is taking a minimal of damage. He's just going to be able to get around the rock here as well. He may drop down, but the damage he's done on the backside of that is impressive.
He should fall for sure, but they will just put third guy in a cap and finish the game. Like, they don't care how they win, they just want to win. It's all there is.
Yeah, I did say that in their interview as well. They're just here to win those matches. So, I mean, Goldbass do finally get to one tank back as well. Simon has to try and fire towards his cap and, again, estimate the position of those capping tanks, get a reset.
Maybe a blind one.
Yeah, I mean, again, these aren't heavily armored tanks on this cap, so the one-shot potential exists. It's not often that we actually see defensive sides in EU take artillery, but this shot from Simon is not going to connect. He's hoping for a spot, but he's running out of time, you know, that's the problem. If he misses this shot, even if it's spotted in...
Praise the Lord.
Nope. That's it. It's going to be a cap for Hellraisers. They get it done. Goldbass just unsure about how they wanted to try and retake this area, and they will fall to Hellraisers now. Match point coming up there. It's looking scary. CIS team at their home are driving this boat straight through.
CIS team not even playing in 50%. That's the worst part of it.
You can see that though, can't you? You can almost tell.
They're not really trying, and they're not really doing anything that would give out their tactics for future part of competition.
They don't want to give away the big strats there as well. I think Goldbass doing it for them, really. Just, I mean, their movements are quite telegraphed. It was pretty clear for Hellraisers to see that Goldbass were trying to work from the south there. Let's talk about that bat chat pushing across.
I really don't understand that. Like, we saw entire team go south. No one was pre-aimed. They had angles, but no one was aimed except Arti. So what? They just threw tier 10 on a possible artillery shot.
So they're putting a lot of faith in Simon then to really do damage.
But even if he did some damage, what then? Like, they would just lose tier 10 for nothing. Like, it's a paper tank and he's going over the open ground. What are they expecting?
The idea of pushing a tank over to scout, implying that would kind of imply that you have tanks in the valley ready to try and reset, and then sending a push from the south actually doesn't seem like a terrible little decoy attempt, but I don't really know if that was what the Golbas were doing.
It just looked like a bad call that they expected Hellraisers to be positioned all on the northern side, and they have barely anyone from that side. So yeah, he will maybe survive, we will push, we will DK, we will this, we will that, we'll get a candy. No.
No candy.
Doesn't work like that.
No. Nothing like that, unfortunately. And no prizes for getting half a round off an enemy team as well. You need to go all the way here, and so far, Hellraisers seem poised to do just that. Nuclear in the bat chat there getting it done. Really not a whole lot of damage needed to be done on that game, as it was a cap victory for Hellraisers. And despite that, we see Peak Thief, Hypo, Hummel, 0 damage for them. Nesqui and Monty the same, of course.
I really want to see them take one map.
I would like that too, Mojo. I mean, I would like a lot of things right now. I would love like a plate of pierogi
I would
and
like to have a this chair at my home.
Yeah, these cheese are nice. I'm a bit of a fan.
They're cool.
They even say Wargaming League Net.
Really?
That's nice. Yeah.
It's okay. They're comfy.
I could use it. But yeah, so there are, there are a lot of things that we want in life, and I'm sure Golbas would like to not get wrecked here, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case in Ghost Town. Oh my, that would be an interesting finale for this map. Hellraisers saw them up against Na'Vi. It was not great from them. That's sort of where they let things get away from them in the end. However, Golbas seems when it comes to brawling, that's a big red X in the box. When it comes to tactics, it's another big red X. And when it comes to the cap plays, he's like a red X. So I don't really know what they've got left to rely on except Red Bull.
Maybe all in cap, hope to win.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, like, you really need to, if you want to come back in any series, you need to pave your way to do so. I mean, it's all well and good to throw around in there as well, but I like to think that this is a proud team, these Golbas as well. And I know they are, because they were fuming when they lost to EL Gaming in the APAC region. And they're not the kind of team that's like, yo, let's just get around and haha, graffiti the giant wall that Hellraisers have put up. No, they want to come away with the series, but I think right now it's looking like a pipe dream, and fish don't survive long in pipes.
I remember them from first grand finals. They were really cool guys, like friendly guys and real life friends, but
it's not enough to be nice in this game of Water Tanks. Hellraisers don't seem to bother too much about that part.
Yeah, sometimes we have to be the killzer.
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes you just have to lay down the law, or have the law data laid down on you, but that's a completely different story. Hellraisers now, match point for them. Peak Thief heading towards that northern side, again, fairly standard to get him to spot any sort of early presence towards the north, and Golbas essentially moving together. We'll point out as well, we do have double Waffentrager here for Hellraisers.
Oh my god, look at this. Total position attack for the south, and the Hellraisers are just fishing out where are they on the map so they can collide. They covered all the angles, all the caps, and they're actually doing it so risky. I never saw a team leave an FV open like that. Where Lolvo is, you usually have like 2 tanks around the minimum to cover any kind of rotation and possible push, because if they smelled out his position like that, and if they push with the entire team, that's it. They would just Pac-Man them to death. Yeah. But they're not seeing it. They went on that side and they went back.
Simon now has actually moved himself into a 215B himself.
It looks like they're just gonna allow themselves to get spotted from that side and then push 416 in a 1 cap.
Yeah, they go for these peaks, right? They're the peak in middle, rolling back, and giving a bit of information up towards Hellraisers. And that's fine if you want them to have information, if you want to maybe give them the wrong idea. But Golbas just seem to be heading towards the north to set up for this one.
This is a cheesy stuff by Hellraisers. They put an RU on A1, and from there he has an angles to decap actually with HE ammo.
Well, the way it drops down as well on towards behind the hills.
And you see, they broke all the buildings already. They're preparing the terrain for that.
Okay, so when in doubt, push out into the middle of the road and try and take a fight there. Red Bull not going to connect. He can at least have Polt bounce that shot coming in from Nesqui as well. But Golbas, again, they're, swiping, maybe shadowboxing a little bit here, just trying to get in Hellraiser's head.
Maybe even Handra covers the 416.
Maybe, so if we can actually completely obscure him for the moment. That might make it hard for Monty to get resets. I don't think they know Monty's there yet, though. 24 seconds, though, so Golbas have definitely started up proceedings here. This is going to provoke a response from Hellraisers in a few moments, and I dare say...
And Nesqui is not taking a single shot, and he's peeking like a... I know what I'm going to say, like what?
Like a lemming.
They're not doing anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, well, now we can see that we see some relocations here from Hellraisers. It's going to work around the side of Nesqui, but Lolvo actually comes out a little bit worse in that brief exchange. There was a reset that came in at some point there as well. So now Nuclear sets up. He sees Bieber. That's not really a fight that you want to take. And Bieber is just going to abscond briefly.
No, he would die there in an instant if he stayed like second more.
Yeah. getting out of that one.
But
Red Bull.
Hellraiser covered in ground. They have 5 tanks in rotation there, and they have guy who can decap and one guy who can suicide and spot if needed. That's Nesquik, but he's already on low HP, so Goldbuzz is even 1k HP advantage, and they have some cap pressure.
But how long will it last for now as Hellraisers try and get close? Bieber actually being challenged out by Lolvo there as well, and the high ground being established here for Hellraisers. It's near you and Nuclear, ready and waiting, off in the wings to get involved if required, and Bieber almost has a sense of that as he himself tries to get up. And Red Bull's being reset constantly.
And Red Bull's even shooting HM on FE Heavy. Okay, well, they need to find angles how to utilize those Waffens and not lose too much XP, and they're also probing for the Goldbuzz Waffens to waste their shells, and then they will just push in because it will be a huge reload. They're counting like BB is minus 2. They're saying that to other guys. When he's done with his clip, they're just gonna push in on Collide because you can see their Waffens didn't shoot a single shell yet.
Yeah, they're ready to go. They're definitely hoping to come in with that second wave of assault here. And again, maybe trying to draw that out with the FVs. Pulse and Red Bull now have actually moved off the cap here, so Goldbass have decided that no, Northern cap is not the plan for now. Again, they still need to break the deadlock here. They need to get into this fight. Nesquik, to be fair, took quite a lot of damage up on that corner despite the HE barrage coming in from Red Bull.
It's quite like but it's 4 minutes out, and Goldbuzz is out of the cap and more or less cornered. And the HP is starting to fall now from left and right, slowly but surely. Pigthief
just got hammered there as well. A war of attrition seems like one that Hellraisers are comfortable enough playing through. Goldbass might be black and blue Bass if they're not careful. Pigthief as well is, yeah, he just got red. Couple shots coming in towards him, off towards the side, and he's just trying to keep an eye on proceedings, but not really involved in the fight, not really in a good position to let those shells go.
Like when you play a game like this, it doesn't have to be huge damage in one moment. It can be like banking, you know, a lot of small chipping investments.
Yeah, that's right. Just trying to chunk away at it. Red Bull now starting to get a little bit low.
Really here. And
Griffin. Oh, yep.
Yeah, bro.
Gonna push around the corner, clean up Red Bull easily enough now. And Hummel and Pol, well, they're gonna get flanked on. Griffin actually wants to come forward. The team's given the signal, at least try and keep Hummel distracted, soak up some damage. You pretty much let almost your whole clip go by the time you drop, so it's worthwhile here. Goldbass. Oh dear, Mojo. It's been a drawn out affair here, but it seems like they're finally gonna start to get work down now as well. Bieber, near you is gonna drop on towards him. It's a 4v3, but Hellraiser's distinct advantage.
Oh, this was a really long stream. Longest ever I did in my life.
Yeah, well, you've been all around the place today as well on the desk and over here at the casters. Simon at least is able to pick one up here and makes it the 3v3. So the last few seconds, Hellraisers slightly took the foot off the pedal here. Mind you, they're working with a Waffen Trigger and a Batchat, so there are defined windows which they can't actually take part in fights because they're reloading their autoloaders, which can take upwards of 20 seconds. So Simon and Hyper have a chance here to actually even the ledger, but it's a long way from here.
Well, near you is close to done with the reload, and when he does, it's over. But even without his help, they're just gonna finish the game.
Yeah.
Well, if I had games like this in ESL Major, I would be a very happy guy.
Bet you would, mate. But a lot of teams in the ESL Major thinking, oh, we could have done that,
Dude,
boys.
like I saw Smore last time, he was casting until almost 1 AM.
Mate, I've had nights like that as well. Don't you worry about it. But there it is. Hellraisers are going to take the series 5-0. Not even a peep from the Gold Bass as they are set